Hello, in this video we will deal with the last story about Abraham. We will compare stories of Abraham's sacrifice from both books. Let's read from the Torah, Genesis 22. After these things God tested Abraham and said to him, Abraham, take your son, your only son Isaac, whom you love, and go to the land of Moriah, and offer him there as a burnt offering on one of the mountains of which I shall tell you. So Abraham rose early in the morning, saddled his donkey, and took 2 of his young men with him and his son Isaac. On the 3rd day Abraham lifted up his eyes and saw the place from afar. And Abraham took the wood of the burnt offering and laid it on Isaac his son. So they went both of them together. And Isaac said to his father Abraham, he said, Behold the fire and the wood, but where is the lamb for burnt offering? Abraham said, God will provide for himself the lamb for burnt offering, my son. Abraham built an altar there and laid the wood in order and bound Isaac his son and laid him on the altar. When Abraham reached out his hand and took the knife to slaughter his son, but the angel of the Lord called to him from heaven and said, Do not lay your hand on the boy or do anything to him. For now I know that you fear God, seeing you have not withheld your son, your only son, from me. And Abraham lifted up his eyes and looked, and behold, behind him was a ram caught in the thicket by his horns. And Abraham went and took the ram and offered it as a burnt offering instead of his son. And the angel of the Lord called to Abraham a second time from heaven and said, By myself I have sworn, declared the Lord, because you have done this, I have not withheld your son, your only son. I will surely bless you, and I will surely multiply your offspring as the stars of heaven and as the sand that is on the seashore. And your offspring shall possess the gate of his enemies, and in your offspring shall all the nations of the earth be blessed, because you have obeyed my voice. So Abraham returned to his young men, and they arose and went together to Beersheba, and Abraham lived at Beersheba. Let's now read from the Qur'an, Surah 37. And then he said, Indeed, I will go to where I am ordered by my Lord. He will guide me. My Lord, grant me a child from among the righteous. So we gave him good tidings of a forbearing boy. And when he reached with him the age of exertion, he said, O my son, indeed, I have seen in a dream that I must sacrifice you. So see what you think. He said, O my father, do as you are commanded. You will find me, if Allah's will, of the steadfast. When they had both submitted, and he put him down upon his forehead, we called to him, O Abraham, you have fulfilled the vision. Indeed, we thus reward the doers of good. Indeed, this was a clear trial. And we ransomed him with a great sacrifice. And we gave him good tidings of Isaac, a prophet from among the righteous. And we blessed him and Isaac, but among their descendants is the doers of good and the clearly unjust to himself. Let's analyze both stories. 1. In the Torah, God told Abraham to sacrifice his son Isaac, his only son. In the Quran, it is assumed that Ishmael is supposed to be one who gets sacrificed because right after the event, Allah tells Abraham that he will have another son whose name will be Isaac. 2. In the Torah, God told Abraham to sacrifice Isaac in the area of Moriah in the central part of Canaan. According to the Quran, it occurred in Mecca. Muslim sources claim that it was on the Mount of Marwa. 3. In the Torah, Abraham traveled 3 days before he saw the place from a distance. Since Abraham lived in the area near Gerar, he could not go further than 80-90 kilometers in 3 days. The Quran suggests that the sacrifice of Ishmael happened in Mecca, which is 1,350 kilometers away from Canaan. This would have taken Abraham almost a month to reach, without a large caravan with supplies of food and water, and using a donkey loaded with wood for the burnt offering. 4. According to the Torah, Isaac was surprised that his father did not bring along an animal for the sacrifice. Abraham was reluctant to tell his son that it is he who would be placed on the altar. The Quran claims that Abraham told Ishmael that Allah ordered him to sacrifice his son, and Ishmael willingly submitted to be killed. Once more, both stories have very few points that agree. The main difference is the name of the son to be sacrificed, the place of sacrifice, and the idea in the Quran that Isaac was supposed to be born after the sacrifice was made. See the Quranic story of the angels visiting Abraham and talking to Sarai before going to Sodom. Therefore, according to the Qur'an, the sacrifice of Ishmael must have taken place right before Sodom was destroyed. The Torah tells us that the sacrifice took place more than 14 years after Sodom was destroyed, because Isaac was a teenager at the described event and Ishmael had already been expelled almost 10 years before. It seems that the author of the Quran attempts to make a connection between Mecca and Abraham, elevating the role of Ishmael above Isaac and claiming that Ishmael and Muhammad were connected by blood, thus linking Islam to the religion of Abraham. But if the Torah is true, this claim is unsustainable. This video concludes the stories of Abraham mentioned in the Quran. In the next video, I will continue discussing differences between the Jewish scriptures and the Quran in the story of Joseph. Thank you for watching. See you next time.